When Hashem came to take the Jewish people out of Egypt, the first thing that he did was killed the firstborns of Egypt. And we make a big deal about this, and we say that he killed their firstborns and he spared ours. The reason why he killed the firstborns is embedded in the first message that Moshe was to give to Paroi. And that was the message to say, Pharaoh, you got to listen up. You got to understand who you're dealing with. Beni Bechori Yisrael. The Jewish people are my firstborn child. That means I have a special relationship with them. And if you don't let them go, then I'm going to kill your firstborns. And that's what happened at the end. Pharaoh dug his heels in, he refused to let us go. So eventually there was the death of the firstborns, and the following morning the Jews left Egypt. Now, as a result of that, there's a mitzvah that we still have today, and that's called the mitzvah of Pidyon Haben, which means that a person is supposed to redeem their firstborn son from Hashem. Our firstborns belong to Hashem because he spared our firstborns in Egypt, and because we're his firstborn nation. So because of that, our firstborns belong to Hashem. And the process is quite simple. It's a beautiful celebration. It's not that common because there are many requirements that have to be fulfilled. But what happens is the father takes 5 silver coins and he gives it to a Kohen who is Hashem's representative, and he says, with this I would like to redeem my son. Now there's an interesting discussion, halachic discussion, as to is it the father's responsibility to redeem his firstborn son, or is it something that the child should really be doing, like all other mitzvahs? It's just that the child is too young and the father has to step in on his behalf. So it's quite an involved halachic discussion, but the conclusion is that it's the mitzvah for the father to redeem his son. Now remember, the story is that Hashem made this law because he said, we are his firstborn son. Now that tells you something. That tells you that Hashem, as the Father, because we're taught that Hashem fulfills the mitzvahs that he tells us to fulfill, he has a responsibility to redeem us. That means if we're going through difficult times as individuals and as a nation, Hashem has a responsibility to redeem us. And the window period is quite short, 30 days from when the problem begins. So Hashem really commits himself to look after us. That should help us to feel a little bit more optimistic about where things are headed. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe and stay sane.